Yo, what's up guys? Great here. Back with another episode of Borderlands 2 Misconceptions. Today's episode, nothing's good at Endgame. So, popular opinion, pretty much since OP levels first came out in this game, has been that there's only a few guns that are viable at Endgame. You know, there's only a few guns that you do any real damage with that are really that impressive, right? And you know, why is this? Where did this misconception come from? A big one in my opinion is from YouTubers. You know, many YouTubers will say that there's only six viable guns at Endgame, you know? There's not many guns for you to use. There's not many options. That's something I've heard a lot of the most popular YouTubers say over the years. And even to this day, some still say that. So I feel that YouTubers have a pretty big influence, you know? If a big YouTuber has an opinion on something in the game, their loyal audience likely will share that same opinion. You know, a lot of content creators, they provide information to their audience. You know, their audience, like, that's content creator is their main source of information on the game. So when that content creator says that only 6 guns are viable at endgame, then the audience is just gonna believe that because this is the guy that gives them all their information. Another one being, and this might be a little, you know, some people might get a little bothered by this opinion, but you know, a lot of people just don't have the best of builds, and you know, it is pretty easy just to put on a Sandhawk and a B shield, and even though you're gonna get one shot constantly because you have no offensive capabilities, you know, the Sandhawk and B shield is a broken combo. You know, like, there's no denying it. It's a broken combo. It does a lot of damage. You know, it's great. It's a great combo. So, you know, broken even. And so you really don't need to build your character, like, very, like, well. You know, you don't have to build them, I don't want to say perfectly, but for lack of a better word, you don't have to build them perfectly, you know? You don't have to build them well, as I've already said. You can kind of just throw your points wherever, and you're still going to be able to kill stuff. Even like with the Herald, which is another weapon, or the North Fleet, these are guns that even if you don't really have a great build, you can still see, you know, you can still get power from them. You can still see value from them, which, you know, maybe can be said for some other guns that aren't so great if you don't have a very well optimized build. As well as these items are very easy to obtain, and it kind of feeds into the thing of, like, these guns are so easy to get, and they're also just so good, you know, they're so strong. So it kind of leaves people to not really experimenting or seeking out. Wow, I'm sorry for that loud board noises. That's terrible. But it leads people to not really seeking out other options when you could just go to the easy option of farming Savage Lee for the Herald. You know, and then farming Hunter Hellquest for the B-Shield. Those are very easy options compared to, I don't know, other options, I guess. You know, they're very well-known loot sources is what I'm getting at. But as you guys can see in this video, I'm not using the Herald, I'm not using a Sandhawk or a B shield. I'm not using a North Fleet. I'm not using any rocket launchers, actually. I'm using a Hornet, which This is literally the first legendary that you're able to obtain in the game. You know, this is the first weapon that you can legitimately get. And the thing, it puts in work even on the hardest difficulty. Obviously, using it against enemies who aren't armor, who don't have armor, excuse me, you know, it's not the greatest, as you can see. It's doing okay, but you know, as a corrosive weapon, you want to use it on armored enemies, and the Hornet shreds armored enemies. Thing's a monster. We got the interfacer. Definitely a more well-known weapon. I'd say like it's kind of on the level of the Herald, but even then, like, still a lot of people don't use the interfacer. Like I've very rarely seen anyone use the interfacer on Axton, and the interfacer is insane on Axton. You know, the only characters I've really seen people use the interfacer on are like Salvador. Like that's about it. I never really see people use it on other characters. Alright, let's take out this killer mimic. Is he not slag? Ah, there we go. Okay. So why is it important that we have more options? Or I should say, why is it important that people know that they have more options than just the Herald, Northfleet, Fanhawk, etc.? Well, it's important to know because, I mean, you know, first of all, like, isn't it more fun having more options? Like, wouldn't you have more fun using a diverse set of weapons in a looter shooter with 87 bazillion guns, as Gearbox says? You know, like, isn't it kind of weird you only use 6 guns when you have so many other options? And again, I know people think that you don't have options, but you do. That's why it's important to know that you do, so you can really have fun and, you know, have some diversity in your gameplay. And having diversity in your gameplay isn't just for fun. I mean, definitely does make the game a lot more fun when you can have some diverse builds. But it also just makes the game easier in a sense, you know? Yeah, I say that as I go down right now. Hopefully I can get back up. See, this is where I kind of struggle. I didn't take the best build for this area. I took a pretty solid weapon setup, but realistically, I could have done a bit better with my corrosive weapon. But even then, you guys are watching this. This isn't a perfect build I'm running here, but it's pretty solid set of weapons, you know. Definitely gets the message across. As I was saying, yeah, having some diversity in your gear, it not only helps you like in combat, but just throughout your entire playthrough, it helps so much. Because instead of always having to look for the same 2 weapons, you know, 2 or 3 weapons throughout your playthrough to crutch on, you can have a variety of different guns to look out for. You know, you don't have to only rely on just this one weapon to be able to kill enemies and get through general gameplay. Oh, that's a legendary. Cool. We're running BL2 picks, so it increases the drop rates of legendaries on OP8 or OP10. But yeah, like, imagine you're playing, let's just say you're playing Zero, right? Zero's a good example. You're playing Zero, and the only weapon you use is the Herald. First of all, you're only using 1 gun, so that's pretty boring. Whoa. Hold on, let's swap out the Hornet for the Pimper now. I thought about putting the gub on, but no, I'm not going to. Let's put on the pimper now. But yeah, first of all, you're only using one gun, which is just boring. You know, like who wants to do that? And then second of all, you're only using one gun. So you're relying completely on pistol. So the only ammo type that benefits you is pistol ammo. So if you're out of pistol ammo, you just can't kill anything, essentially. What happens if you see an enemy at long range? You're not going to be able to kill them with the Herald. You're going to have to get closer to them. You know, you don't have any long range capabilities. If you go down and there's no enemies nearby, you're just going to die. You know, if they're too far, you just die if you only use the Herald. But let's say instead you're playing Zero. You use the Pimper now. Let's not even say the Pimper now. You're using the Lyud Milla. Let's just say a coach gun, right? A Jacob shotgun of any kind, and whatever your third weapon would be. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. I apologize. Maybe let's say like a purple Gatling gun. A purple Jacob's Gatling gun. Well, I might die here. Ooh. Alright, hold on guys. We're gonna pause and resume because I died. Alright, so as you guys can see there, I died. Which is honestly like kind of good. Because it goes to show that you're gonna fucking die no matter what in this game. No matter what you're running. I feel that it's good to have deaths in the gameplay because it shows that, I mean, you know, it's normal, you know, no matter what. There's no type of build, there's no type of gameplay style that's just gonna lead you to never down and never die, you know. And it's just really it's really disingenuous to try to act like, you know, things are just perfect, you know. It would be disingenuous for me to just act like, because I'm not using, you know, the Herald or the Grog Nozzle, etc., that, oh, you know, I'm just going through everything flawlessly, acting like I'm just the best Borderlands 2 player around. I do want to apologize. I definitely lost my last idea that I was on. Oh, well, actually, no, I did not. I was talking about variety in gear. Yeah, like, imagine, you know, instead of just running the Herald, you're running those three options. So you have some great damage in the Lyuda, or Lyud Milla as it's called now. You have some great damage in that, as well as range as well. You have great range. You have a Jacob shotgun for good close range damage. And then you have let's switch out the Gatling gun for like a Bandit rocket launcher. Then you have the Bandit rocket launcher for second wins. And for taking out some beefier enemies. You know, that's a much more well-rounded out build where you have, you know, 3 separate guns that you can use. As well, you know, the fourth weapon would of course be like a slag weapon. You know, you have 3 well-rounded weapons to use to take out enemies. So you don't have to worry about ammo as much. You know, you have a weapon for pretty much every scenario. Whether you're down, whether the enemy's far away, whether they're resistant to fire damage, whatever, right? You're just gonna have more options, which is a really, really big thing in Borderlands 2, and really just Borderlands as a series is having options. Alright, let's take these 2 guys out. I hope the board noises aren't too loud here, because that would really suck. Alright, so we're gonna move forward here. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I do have like a set of notes here that I'm reading through just to really be able to get my point across better and not really lose any ideas or stumble too much. If you see me stopping for a second, that's because I'm reading my notes for 1 millisecond. I read very fast, by the way. So let's talk about some of these guns that have been popularized in the community. The first one, the Unkempt Herald. I wanted to start this off by saying the Unkempt Herald is an amazing gun. It's a great gun. Like, that gun, it's good on every character. There's not a single character in this game that it's not good on. It's better on some characters than others, but it's great on every character. But it has downsides. You know? It uses a lot of ammo up. Like, a lot. Especially if you use the double penetrating Unkempt Herald, which most people do. You're going to be running through a lot of ammo. Which, you know, damage makes up for, but that is a downside of it. If you're just only clutching onto that one weapon, you're gonna be struggling for ammo. And also, you know, it's not good at long range at all. Like, let's say I'm standing right here and I want to kill an enemy that's all the way against that wall. It's not going to happen with the Herald. I'm going to have to move closer to be able to hit them. And the thing with that is moving closer to an enemy with any weapon, right? Like with a shotgun, with a Herald. Sure, you're going to do more damage, but guess what? You're also going to take more damage because now you're closer to the enemy. It's easier for the enemy to hit you. You know, oftentimes you're going to have to walk out of cover to be able to get that close to an enemy. There's a lot of downsides to that. And even then, if you're too close to an enemy, it also kind of struggles on damage. Like, if you're like this close to an enemy and you try to shoot them with a Herald, it's not going to do really any damage. So you really have to hit enemies at the right spot with it. Another item, a notorious item, it's the Grog Nozzle. You know, P9 people will realize that I haven't been using the Grog Nozzle at all in this video. Sure, I did die once. I've gone down a couple times, right? But like overall, like things have gone pretty smoothly. I'm using a slag transfusion grenade instead of the Grog Nozzle, which in my opinion is a lot better than using the Grog Nozzle, because if I get low on HP, all I have to do is throw my grenade, back up a little bit maybe, and I'm back to full HP instantly. Compared to the Grog Nozzle, you have to swap to it. You gotta shoot. You have to shoot the enemy with it to heal yourself, or throw a grenade to heal yourself. And if you're a lot of the times, if you're using a grenade to heal yourself, it's normally going to be like the chain lightning. And the chain lightning does no damage, really. So you're basically just using it for heals. That's that, you know. My point with that is, why use the Grog Nozzle and the chain lightning for heals when you could just use a slag transfusion for heals, and then free up your weapon slot to an actual slag weapon? As well, you know, you're getting a lot more DPS out of using a grenade for heals compared to using an actual gun for heals that doesn't do any damage. Because if I need heals, I just throw my grenade and I continue shooting. But with the Grog Nozzle, I have to swap to it, and I'm just... anytime I have the Grog Nozzle in my hand, I'm basically dealing 0 damage. So I'm dealing 100% less damage whenever I have the Grog Nozzle in my hand. And for some builds, like if you're using the Beast Shield, you're going to be low HP a lot with the Beast Shield. If you get hit once with the Beast Shield, you're very likely going to go to low HP. Which is why the Beast Shield also isn't the end-all be-all. It's not the only shield you should be using. Because it gives you great damage, but it also just strips you of your defensive capabilities. And if you're having to hide constantly because you took 1 damage, You know, and you gotta let your shield recharge so you can continue dealing damage with the beam. Dude, like your gameplay is gonna be so much slower. You're losing out on damage in a weird way because you're having so much more downtime in your gameplay. Not gonna lie, I have a little bit more to say here. So we're done with the area, but I'm gonna continue talking for a little bit to get through the rest of this. So I've pretty much gotten all my points across, but I do want to just say for the end of the video, this video, I'm not saying in this video that the popular guns aren't good. I'm not saying that the Norfleet isn't good or the Unkempt Herald or even the Beast Shield isn't good, right? I think they're all great items. I think another big reason that I didn't list earlier in the video that I wish I did, a big reason why I feel like people think that like the Beast Shield and the Herald and the Grog Nozzle are just like needed for endgame. It's because these are very staple items when it comes to fighting raid bosses. So there's definitely players who think that, oh, like these items are the best for raid bosses and they should be the best for everything, right? That obviously that's not the case. Raid bosses are a completely different story from actually playing the game and doing the majority of content in this game. So really what this video was about, I just wanted to show you guys that there are other great options that can sometimes be the better choice than the Grog Nozzle or the Unkempt Herald. And you know, hopefully after watching this video, you can go into your own game. You can start, you might find a little Becca in your inventory. You might find an interfacer or a saw bar or, dude, even an emerald minigun, even a doll minigun. This thing is a monster and it's a purple assault rifle. Just let that sink in. So yeah, hopefully this video taught you guys something. That's pretty much it for the video right there. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube thing. I got a Discord, a link in the description if you want to join. Yeah, I hope you guys have a good day or night. Sorry for the late upload. You know, I know it's been some days. It's been a week, over a week since I've uploaded last. I went on a little bit of a vacation, and honestly, I just haven't been doing too great with getting YouTube videos out. I'm kind of getting back into the routine of it. Expect another video very soon. Expect different videos as well. I'm going to be getting into different videos very soon. So be ready for that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.